Let's face it, it is fun to play with makeup. It's fun to play with palettes and with cheek color and lip color and different textures and different finishes and the whole thing. But when it comes to a job interview, you want to shine. You want your resume to shine. You want your personality to shine, but you don't want your makeup to shine. You want to look your best, but you don't want to look like you took an hour and a half getting there. So I thought I would do a little thing, what I might wear if I was going for an interview. I'm the Hooded Lid, and welcome to my channel. If you want to see a makeup look for an interview, keep on watching. Alright, we're going to start with foundation, the obvious way to start. I have already put on my sunscreen and all my goodies, and I'm doing the ethereal list. When you're doing an interview, you have to put on a foundation you know you can count on that will just make you look great. Nothing fussy. The last thing you want to do is wear a foundation you just started wearing, or wear a foundation that's a little fussy. You're bound to be a little nervous before an interview, and doing your makeup should be and can be kind of a meditation to get you focused and calm you down. And if you already know, I can count on this foundation, I can count on this lipstick, I can count, if you've kind of done some dry runs for interviews, you're kind of set. So I'm using the Ethereal List, which is such a beautiful foundation on me. The color is a problem because I need something a little bit lighter. I'm in between two shades. So I used one pump of the medium color and a teeny pinpoint of the lighter color. And I'll be hoping for the best. That's probably as fussy as this foundation will get. This is not fussy. I'm going to get around the redness here, which kind of eats foundation around my jawline. And a little around the cheeks where my redness is there. The top of the forehead. I just look, this doesn't take a lot of work to make work. Pull a little bit down, just so there's no sharp line on the neck. Foundation pretty much done. I'm going to go in with the Flawless Fusion. I have discovered, even though this reads super light, and a little bit on the eyes, this actually never really sets down to a dry touch. So when you powder it, it gets a little darker. I'm going to just work this in. I know people are like, oh my god, wrinkles. Look, I got wrinkles. This is what works for me. Working it in with my finger and then a little bit out. Taking some of this Tarte powder to set. So a little bit on the finger. There, it's all set, and it's just not going to dry me out, which is my #1 thing. If I had my druthers, and my choices were between something that will make my eyes look 20 years older than the rest of my face, or a little bit of creasing, I'm going to go with the creasing, but this helps quite a lot. If you follow me, if you've been following me for a while, this next step might surprise you. I'm going to contour in a very subtle way. So I'm feeling the top of my bone. So here's the bone, right? This is not quite under it. Under it would be about right here. But I don't want to go that low. I'm going to go in between. And I'm not going to go any further than the eyebrow. Duo fiber. I'm just pressing and pulling up. I'm now taking care of the lower line. I'm going to do a little bit around the forehead, temple, just the smallest bit. And again, I don't want to displace my foundation, so stippling. Now I'm contouring the eye area So I'm feeling this bone right here, I guess I would call it the bridge, and I'm going slightly above my orbital bone, but this is my starting point. This area I am going to blend a little more aggressively, but I'm still using a light hand. Using a cream in your eye area like this is going to need some setting. It's just going to move around, I think. I don't want to take that chance. So I'm going to go into a little bit of bronzer. And I'm going right under the orbital bone. So it's not the same place where I put the cream, but we'll get there. First, lay down here. And now, very lightly, whatever's left. I'm taking a fluffy brush and some translucent powder just to take off that shine and pull the color back a little bit because it feels too heavy to me. And it sets up that cream at the same time. I'm going to let this set up and settle in before I go back to the eyelids. I'm going to do my brows, and for the brows I want to take my time. A lot of people overdo the brows and it's really obvious to the naked eye. So first I brush everything down. And I'm just looking to go exactly where I see hairs already, but they're light hairs. So I'm just emphasizing the line that I already have. And then pull through to get any pieces. This is a little bit waxy. Pull up. And I like to pull this down a little bit because I feel like I look surprised. And then right under here is where I'm adding. When I was younger, I wanted a high arch, and I thought the way to do it was just to pluck under the arch instead of taking a pencil and drawing an arch a little higher. So that area I like to fill in. And then I look in a mirror that's a little further away because sometimes what you see in your up-close 8x mirror is a little different than what you see at normal length. Looks good? I'm going to do the other side. Eyebrows should be sisters, not twins. Don't overdo it with the eyebrows. Keep them as natural as possible. These days it's a sure giveaway for someone who's gone a little too far. Before I continue, I'm taking a Muji and I'm cleaning out my waterline and my tightline from any foundation or concealer. Just a little bit, but it irritates my eyes, and you don't want watery eyes. It'll smudge all your makeup and it will make your eyes look red, and that's the look you don't want when you're doing an interview. I am going to actually take a little bit off right where you would line because I don't want anything to move. In other words, there are so many times that I have cleaned out this area, the tight line and the waterline, and 10 minutes later I feel like there's something down there again. If I just remove it, just like it's a liner, but in reverse, I know nothing's going to drop back into there. My Papograph pencil, I'm just going to do a little lining on the upper. I always forget, is it this tight line or the waterline? This is a brown color. I'm not going with anything too harsh. I'm going to do a teeny bit of lining. It's more like dotting. And now I'll smudge it. See with me? See how fast it transfers up here? Now, yesterday I wore this foundation and I didn't need to powder. It had a really beautiful, beautiful finish. But today I'm wearing a different sunscreen and I feel like I'm a little bit more shiny. I usually use the By Terry powder, but it doesn't really knock down shine that well. And I also have the Hourglass powder. I'm going to mix them. So the first place I really don't like shine is right here because it emphasizes my cheeks going down. Me no like. I don't know if you can see the difference, but I can. And now I want to get the center of the forehead. The shine will come through. If you're concerned I'm looking a little too matte, I'm not. you'll see at the end. But this area I really don't like shiny. And whatever's left, top of the cheekbones and cheeks for my blush. And I'm going to hit a little bit of bronzer. So for blush, I'm going in really neutral. This is a Surratt color. This is a blush, but I actually use it as a bronzer because I like a lighter bronzer. And I'm using a brush that is not as dense as my usual blush brush. And just a little when I get here, top of the cheekbones, and then where I would put my blush normally. Now because my cheeks are naturally pretty rosy and I'm not wearing full coverage foundation, I'm not going to add a pinkness. But if you don't have that rosiness, a touch of pink right on your apples is very fresh. It makes you look alert, and you want to look alert when you're at a job interview. All right, you're almost there. You just need to get your mascara and your lips on. This is a mascara that never flakes and never smudges. My favorite look for a mascara is the Kush. It makes me look like I have 3 times as many lashes, and they're very fluttery. They don't clump together. This is a more natural look. I love the look of the Kush, but it is completely unreliable. So again, when we're putting this on for an interview, let's just not get ourselves into the position where we might have a problem when we're putting it on. So dab off any excess, because we're almost there. This start from under so your eyes are not open, and squiggle at the base and just pull up. I don't squiggle too much at the base because my eyes are sensitive and I don't want to get this mascara on my waterline. I will, but I don't want to. And then I'll open a little bit more and try to separate these. There. It's a very natural look. I'm going to do a little bit under my eyes. I don't have long lashes under the eyes, but what I'm trying to do is give a little emphasis to the overall shape of the eye. A little bit right here helps. So I just emphasize the entire shape of my eye. This gives me a little bit of depth with very little effort. Now I have a lot of color in my lips, and I could just go like this. This is something close to my lip color. I also have a great balm called Spicosis. It's the Pulse, really good color. I don't want to go too dark because if it comes off, if it flakes, if it bunches up, you'll be able to see if the color is too different than your lip color. If you can manage with just your lip color or a stain, just dot it on, you're probably going to be better off in an interview situation. For me, I feel like this is a little too dark, so I'm going to blot. And take my hair down. And pull you out so you can get a better idea of the whole picture. Kind of putting it behind my ears so I have a little bit of shape going on. Completely up to you. This is about the makeup, and the idea is to make you feel confident, to make you feel calm, to use this time as your meditation, as you're preparing for the interview, and have people looking at you, not at your makeup. They're listening to your words, not thinking, what's that flaking going on under your eyes? That's the whole purpose of it. You just want to be able to go in there, be comfortable, be confident, knock it out of the park. I want to thank you so much for spending a little time with me. I hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you come back again. And good luck on your interview. Bye.